In everyday life, many habits feel harmless. We repeat them quietly, day after day, often without noticing. Some even feel healthy, responsible, or simply normal over time. But research on the brain has shown something worth noticing. Certain daily habits, especially the ones we rarely question, can gently influence how the brain changes over the years. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly, gradually, over time. Most people never connect these habits to changes in memory, mental clarity, or how the mind feels each day. And the final habit in this video is one many people have kept for years, believing it was harmless. But science suggests this habit may quietly affect the brain over time. Let's take a closer look. Let's begin with the first one: sleep. In daily life, many people treat sleep as something automatic. At night, we turn off the lights, lie down, close our eyes, and assume the brain will recover on its own. As long as we spend enough hours in bed, sleep should take care of everything. This belief sounds reasonable, and for many years earlier in life, it often worked. But neuroscience shows the brain does not restore itself based on time alone. What truly matters is sleep depth and sleep rhythm. During deep sleep, the brain activates a natural cleaning system. This system clears metabolic waste, reduces low-grade inflammation, and reorganizes memory circuits formed during the day. When sleep is shallow, irregular, or frequently interrupted, this process becomes incomplete. Waste products are not fully cleared. They accumulate gradually, day after day. At first, the effects are subtle. The body may still feel capable, but the mind feels slightly slower. Focus fades earlier. Mental fatigue appears sooner. Recovery takes longer. Over time, this buildup has been linked to reduced cognitive efficiency and gradual memory decline. In contrast, when sleep is deep and consistent, the brain enters true recovery mode. It cleans itself more effectively, strengthens memory pathways, and protects brain cells from long-term stress, not because sleep is longer, but because it happens in the way the brain actually needs. Let's move to the second habit: walking. In daily life, many people think of walking as something mainly for the body. It's for the joints, for circulation, for keeping weight under control. If the legs feel fine, many people assume walking is optional. Some even believe that only intense exercise really matters. This belief sounds logical, but neuroscience shows a different picture. Walking is not just physical movement. It is one of the most powerful signals the brain uses to regulate itself. When you walk, especially at a steady, comfortable pace, the brain receives rhythmic, sensory input from muscles, joints, and balance systems. This rhythm activates areas of the brain responsible for attention, memory, and emotional regulation. At the same time, walking increases blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients that brain cells need to function efficiently. But the most important effect is quieter. Walking stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often called beta. This compound helps protect existing neurons and supports the formation of new neural connections. When walking is absent for long periods, this stimulation is reduced. The brain becomes less adaptable. Over time, processing speed slows, mental flexibility decreases. Recovery from stress takes longer. These changes do not happen suddenly. They accumulate quietly, especially when daily movement becomes limited. Many people notice this as a subtle mental heaviness. The body feels capable, but the mind feels less fluid. On the other hand, regular walking sends a very different message to the brain. A daily walk of 20 to 30 minutes, at a pace that feels natural, creates consistent neurological input. The brain begins to synchronize better. Attention stabilizes. memory circuits remain active. This is not about intensity.com. It is about rhythm. Walking does not push the brain. It reassures it. And over time, this steady signal helps slow the brain's aging process. Let's move to the third habit. Mental quiet. In daily life, many people believe that as long as the brain is active, it is healthy. Staying busy, staying informed, keeping the mind occupied, noise becomes normal. Background television, constant notifications, endless conversations, thoughts, and concerns. Silence, on the other hand, often feels uncomfortable. Some people even associate quiet with loneliness or boredom. This belief feels harmless, but neuroscience shows something important. The brain does not recover during constant stimulation. It recovers during periods of quiet, when the brain is continuously engaged, even with low-level noise or information. Its stress circuits remain active. The brain stays in a mild alert state. Without fully realizing it, over time, this prevents deeper neural recovery. One key system affected is the default mode network. This network becomes active when the brain is not focused on tasks. It plays a crucial role in memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and so when the brain never experiences quiet, this network has little opportunity to activate. The result is subtle. Mental fatigue builds up faster. Thoughts feel crowded. Clarity becomes harder to access. Many people describe it as never feeling truly rested in the mind. Over years, this constant low-level stimulation has been linked to increased stress hormones, reduced cognitive flexibility, and difficulty concentrating. On the other hand, even short periods of intentional quiet send a powerful signal to the brain. Quiet tells the brain that it is safe to slow down. During these moments, stress activity decreases, neural connections reorganize, and mental clarity begins to return. This does not require meditation, special techniques, or complete silence. It can be as simple as sitting without screens, walking without headphones, or allowing a few minutes of stillness. Between daily activities, mental quiet does not weaken the brain, it restores it. And over time, this habit helps protect the brain's ability to focus, remember, and adapt. Let's move to the fourth habit. Light exposure. In daily life, most people think of light as something mainly for vision. If the room is bright enough to see, it feels sufficient. Artificial light has made life easier. We can stay awake longer, stay active later, keep routines flexible. Because of this, many people assume light has little impact on the brain. But neuroscience shows something different. Light is not just visual information. It is one of the strongest signals that regulates the brain's internal clock. This clock, known as the circadian rhythm, coordinates sleep, hormone release, energy levels, and cognitive performance. Morning light, especially natural sunlight, signals the brain to increase alertness, raise cortisol at healthy levels, and synchronize neural activity. Even brief exposure helps set the brain's timing for the entire day. In contrast, excessive light in the evening, especially blue spectrum light from screens, sends a conflicting message. It tells the brain that daytime is still ongoing. Melatonin release is delayed. Sleep depth is reduced. Neural recovery becomes incomplete. These effects are subtle. People may still fall asleep, but the brain does not enter its deepest restorative stages as easily. Over time, this circadian disruption accumulates. Mental clarity decreases earlier in the day. Mood regulation becomes more fragile. Memory consolidation weakens. Many people attribute these changes to age or stress, but often they are rooted in how the brain receives light signals day after day. On the other hand, When light exposure follows a natural rhythm, the brain functions more efficiently. Bright light earlier in the day, gentle, dim light in the evening. This pattern allows the brain to anticipate rest and recovery. Neural systems synchronize more smoothly. Sleep becomes deeper. Cognitive energy lasts longer. This does not require perfect habits or drastic changes. Simple adjustments help. Spending time near natural light in the morning, reducing screen brightness at night, allowing darkness to arrive gradually. Light does not stimulate the brain indefinitely. It guides it. And when light is used in rhythm, the brain regains stability, clarity, and resilience over time. Let's move to the fifth habit, eating simply. In daily life, many people believe that the brain needs more stimulation, more supplements, more complex nutrition, special formulas, exotic soup, complicated diets. The assumption is simple. If something is good, more of it must be better. This belief feels logical, but neuroscience and metabolic science tell a different story. The brain is one of the most energy-sensitive organs in the body. It relies heavily on stable blood sugar, steady nutrient delivery, and low inflammatory load. When meals become overly processed, highly refined, or constantly changing, the brain must work harder just to maintain balance. Large glucose spikes trigger rapid insulin responses. Over time, this volatility stresses brain cells, disrupts energy signaling, and increases low-grade inflammation. The effect is not immediate. People may still feel full, still eat regularly, still enjoy variety, but the brain experiences small metabolic shocks. Throughout the day, gradually, mental clarity becomes less stable, energy fluctuates, focus fades faster after meals. Many people assume this is normal aging, but often, it reflects how the brain is responding to constant nutritional stress. In contrast, simple, consistent meals send a very different message. Foods that are minimally processed, balanced in protein, healthy fats, and fiber, eaten at regular times. This pattern stabilizes blood sugar, reduces inflammatory signaling, and allows brain cells to use energy efficiently. The brain does not need novelty at every meal. It needs predictability. Over time, this simplicity protects memory, supports attention, and reduces metabolic strain on the brain. Eating simply is not about restriction. It is about clarity. And clarity, for the brain, is a form of nourishment. When you look at these 5 habits together, something important becomes clear. The brain is not asking for more effort. It is asking for clearer signals. Sleep helps the brain know when to recover. Walking gives it rhythm and circulation. Quiet moments allow it to reset and reorganize. Light helps it stay aligned with time. Simple food provides steady energy. None of these habits are extreme. None require perfection. They work because they support how the brain naturally functions. When these signals are present, the brain doesn't need to struggle. It adjusts. It steadies itself. It protects itself over time. This is why small, consistent changes often matter more than dramatic ones. The brain does not age all at once. It responds, day by day, to how we live. Noticing these simple habits is not about stopping aging. It's about allowing the brain to age with more balance and ease. Perhaps one of these habits already feels familiar or comfortable. That may be a gentle place to begin.